Most people want to lead a happy life. And I think it's important that we redefine success and move away from that idea of it being becoming rich and being able to use money for pleasure, and instead toward this idea of being able to wake up each morning happy, joyful, and excited for what the world has to bring. So, on that note, in this video, I wanted to talk about how to bring joyfulness and happiness into your life. This video is going to be a summary of some key points that I have found for myself that have really worked in being able to maintain a state of joyfulness as you experience different things, whether it's happiness or sorrow throughout your day. The first thing that I wanted to note that I think is an important precursor to being able to experience regular happiness is to accept the things that you cannot change. And the fact of the matter is that as we go throughout our daily lives, the vast majority of the events that you experience are things where you don't have a firm handle on it and you cannot change what is going to happen. So, in that case, it becomes very futile and a waste of energy to spend time worrying, thinking, trying to maneuver your way out of situations that you cannot actually do anything about. Instead, it brings a sense of sorrow, anxiety, or worry instead of keeping up that joyful attitude. So instead, it's necessary to focus your energies and your intentions on the things that you can actually change. And in that route, you will be able to create a more positive experience for yourself by being able to actively go out and fix the things or work on the things that you are able to and letting the rest of it go. So let's say, for example, maybe you're hosting an event. And so you've made all the necessary preparations, decorated the area, invited everyone that needs to come, and now you're ready. So at this point, you've focused on and done everything you can within your power to create a happy opportunity. And after that, there is no use on worrying or being anxious about things like whether people show up or whether they feel like they're enjoying themselves, because you've done everything in your power and focused on the things that you can control. And after that, the rest is out of your hands and you should just let it go and instead spend your time enjoying the event that you've put on. There's this saying in Hindi that goes, Karam karo, phal ki chinta mat karo. And that translates as do your duty and don't worry about the fruit at the end of it. And it's that idea that you should focus on the things that you can actually change and do those properly and do it right and not worry about what the outcome is going to be. And in that way, you're free of anxiety, you're free of stress, you're free of sadness, and you can instead enjoy and remain in a peaceful and happy state. The second thing that I've noticed that is necessary to understand in order to maintain peace and inner joy is this idea that the environment around you, your surroundings, the things that go on around you are all neutral. And it's how you react to different situations that actually change the outcome from a positive situation or a negative situation. So it's understanding that everything is in your locus of control. And it's up to you to determine how you react to create something beautiful out of it or to create a situation where you become sad and hopeless. So in order to understand this, let's take this idea that maybe you have a boss, and this boss is constantly making you do things and dictating your life to the point where they say what time you get up in the morning, what time you brush your teeth, what you're going to be doing throughout the day at different points of time without giving you a break. And at some point you'd say, well, this is essentially taking away my rights. This is a form of slavery. And you would leave. You would get out of that situation because you find it unjust. So in that same way, if you take situations around you and let them control you, let them control how you feel and get sad from things people say to you, then essentially you're being a slave to other people and their whims. So in this way, maintaining a positive attitude in any situation is keeping your freedom. It's allowing you to be who you want to be without your environment dictating how you should feel. It's important to not be a victim to your circumstance. And so if you're feeling unhappy or anxious, you have to ask yourself why you're feeling that way and realize that you're the only one with the true power to change how you're feeling in that situation. You're the one who brings joyfulness into your life, and it's your choice how you react to the things that happen around you. Don't let other people or events that happen around you dictate you and how you live your life. So, for example, if someone's walking by and they spill coffee on you, it's up to you if you want to make that ruin your entire day and put you in this sour state and then blame the environment that this happened to me, so now I'm not feeling well. Or you can take that same situation, brush it off, and move on and create that same positive energy for the rest of your day. It goes back to that saying where if you have $86,400 that enter your bank each day, and you only have that day to use them, because at the end of the next day, the bank resets, you get another $86,400. Then what you would do with that money is probably use as much of it you could and use it properly and enjoy the money. So, in that same light, you have 86,400 seconds in a day. And so, it's important to use each second meaningfully and spend it on the things that you enjoy instead of cribbing about something that may have had it and letting it waste all the rest of your time. There's this quote by Naval Ravikant that goes, "Reality is neutral. Our reactions reflect back and create our world. So judge and you'll feel separated and lonely. Anger and you lose peace of mind. Cling and you live in anxiety. Fantasize and you miss the present. Desire and suffer till you have it. Heaven and hell are right here, right now." And this is a very powerful quote. And it goes back to that idea that you are in control of your mind and you are in control of your emotions. So it's your choice to decide how you react in a certain situation. And how you react emotionally is going to dictate the outcomes of that situation on your mood and your state of mind. If you feel like someone's making you angry, it's your loss because you are going to feel those hateful things in your heart. And it's your body and your mind that are going to be negatively affected because you're letting someone dictate how you feel. Instead, you should choose how you want to react in different environments. It's this idea of not being a victim of circumstance and instead taking things into your own hands. Now, the third thing that I wanted to raise is this idea that desire is the root of unhappiness. And while I'm not saying that you should give up all your desires, and while I do think that a lot of monks and yogis are able to achieve that high level of spirituality, what I'm necessitating here is the importance of being conscious of what desires you do pick up. Being conscious necessitates letting go of a lot of things and being flexible to the things that happen around you. So for me personally, I try to keep a couple desires, some of my future goals that I want to make sure I achieve. So anytime you're feeling unhappy, it's important to take a step back and see what desire it is that's causing this root of unhappiness. So for example, maybe you didn't do well on a presentation and now you're feeling sad about that. And this comes from your desire to have done well on this specific project. So then you should look at that desire and say, is this a desire I want to keep? Or is this a desire that I'm willing to let go? And if it's something you think is really important, then it necessitates focusing on the things that you can change to help achieve your desire. But the vast majority of desires are not necessary. So maybe you were holding an ice cream cone and you dropped it, and that made you angry. And that comes from that desire of wanting to eat that ice cream cone. Instead of letting that emotion of anger control you, I think it's important to acknowledge that, maybe that desire isn't something that I need to suffer for, and instead I can let it go. Being conscious of your desires and being able to let go of situations that don't go your way is going to really help you create inner peace and happiness. So in summation, what I have found to be able to achieve that inner peace and joyfulness and create happiness around me is first of all accepting the things that I can't change and instead focusing on the things that I can change. And second of all, recognizing that everything around me is neutral and it is instead how I react to different situations that can create a positive or negative experience. And third of all, being conscious of my desires and not letting unnecessary desires lead to suffering. Life is something that should be enjoyed. If you got something out of this, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps with the algorithm, and I hope to share this with as many people as possible. See you later.